this whole thing with the classrooms now, because now you have teachers who they're hell bent on, I'm going to teach your children to call me Zay Zum or whatever it is. I'm going to, or I'm going to show up in class dressed like this. And kids who are naturally curious are going to ask, hey, who are you? Why are you dressed like this? Oh, well, now it's my chance to educate you. I've always said, when did parents lose the right to say, I'm not comfortable with this?
Yeah.
I don't want you talking to my child about this. If you can't show up in class and looking professional, then I don't want you there. If I show up to a classroom wearing a huge cross, I'm told to take it off because I don't want you spreading your religion in class. Kids are going to start asking about that. I'm uncomfortable with that. But I can show up with a rainbow shirt with the new LGBTQIA plus LMNOP flag. And with green hair, with horns growing out my head, and kids go, hey, look at you. What are you? Oh, now it's my chance. That's smiled upon. When did parents lose the right to say, you know what? No, that's not cool. I don't want that.
Well, you're hateful if you do that now.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that the right to do that was lost when the argument over teaching reproductive stuff in schools was, when the schools were empowered to teach the reproduction of I forget what it is, sex ed. There you go. When the schools were like, okay, we're going to teach sex ed, and parents were like, well, we're uncomfortable with our kids learning at this age, and the parents lost the ability to say, don't teach that to my kid at this time. I want to decide when my kids learn this stuff. Once that was lost, then it was all downhill after.
Is there no, parents don't have to sign off on that anymore?
No,
it's just
anymore.
Automatically?
Yeah.
Because when I was in school,
I remember when I was in school, they sent the curriculum home. They said, this is exactly what we're going to be talking about. This is the guidelines, and sign off on it.
Yeah, but remember when COVID happened, there were a ton of parents that learned that their kids were being taught things that they had no idea. That's a big part of why this kind of stuff got out, like the LGBT training or schooling and stuff. Parents didn't know that their kids were learning this stuff. And then when COVID happened and you had the remote learning, parents looked in on their classes and they were like, what in God's name is going on at that school? And people started to make a stink. And that was when then the Biden administration, when the Biden administration got in, they started calling parents, problems, calling the FBI to monitor the parents because they were saying we have a problem with our children learning these things. The federal government really had taken the position that children were the responsibility of the federal government and parents were only to look after them when they weren't in school.
I remember a story where this mother, she had her kid doing schoolwork at the kitchen table, right? She was doing the schoolwork and she was in the kitchen doing her thing and she's listening in the background and then she hears about this weird ideology that's going on. And I remember the story. I don't know what they were talking about specifically, but it was like this whole where you are can be who you want to be, transgender, critical, what's it called? Critical sex theory? What's it again?
Well, there's critical gender theory, critical race theory, there's critical theory in general, and then you apply
but
it
they were
to
talking
different
critical gender theory to this young person, and it just blew her mind. She's like, where the F did this come from? She had no idea what was going on. For example of Phil, because that stuck out in my brain. It still sticks in my brain. She's just chilling there. You're chilling in your house, and you're having a good time, and your kids go to school. Next thing you know, they're getting taught this weird stuff, and you're like, wait a second, hold on, where did that come from? That's weird, crazy.
Well, this also goes along with all of a sudden parents started figuring out that in their children's library, there are books on that graphically describe how they give oral sex and everything. And the parents are like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Hold up.
You've got pictures here, you've got descriptions. What's going on here? And then you have to go, oh, well, you just want to censor these books. No, I don't. I don't want a book like this in my child's classroom. And that's why I keep asking, when did parents lose the ability to say, I'm not cool with this. I'm not comfortable with this. I don't have to go along with it. And then the left tries to figure out why the right is now considering homeschooling or moving so much into homeschooling. It's because you guys took the educational curriculum and went nuts with it.
Yep.
I think we need vouchers.
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
We need choice. We need school choice, right? Yeah, because private school solves a lot of these problems. You choose the school that has the values that you like, but not everyone can afford to forego the taxes that they paid for public education and pony up extra money for private school. Why don't we have school vouchers? Because we don't want parents to be able to choose?
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.